JBN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with family and friends today. Now on to the news. Two men fatally shot in alleged confrontation with police. A man was fatally shot by police during an operation in the Over River district of Chudley, Manchester, on Tuesday morning. Authorities have not yet released the identity of the deceased individual. According to police sources, the operation was part of a targeted effort to address rising crime in the area. During the raid, officers reportedly encountered an armed man who confronted them, leading to the fatal shooting. A gun was recovered at the scene. Meanwhile, over in Clarendon, a man was fatally shot and a gun seized by the police following an alleged confrontation in the McGilchrist Palm community in Fort Parks on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 36-year-old Rashid Campbell, otherwise called Russian, of a tollgate address in the parish. One silver and black Barrett pistol with one magazine containing 7 9mm rounds was reportedly seized. Reports are that the police, acting on intelligence, went to the community in search of criminals believed to be in possession of prohibited weapons. It's further reported that the police called out to a man who arose their suspicion when he opened fire at them. The lawman returned the fire and Campbell was hit. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. None of the officers were injured. Body found on Mammy Bay Main Road in St. Anne. Traffic came to a halt along the Mammy Bay Main Road in St. Anne on Tuesday morning after police were called to the scene following the discovery of a male body. According to police reports, the body was discovered by local residents around 7 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, officers found the body dumped alongside the roadway, showing signs of violence, with what appeared to be stab wounds to the upper body. The deceased is described as having a dark brown complexion and is standing approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall. He was shirtless, wearing only a pair of black jeans and black sneakers. Police have launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death, urging anyone with information to come forward. Gun and ammo seized in St. Andrew. A man has been taken into custody after the St. Andrew North Special Operation Team seized a gun and several rounds of ammunition during an operation on Belvedere Road, St. Andrew on Monday. Reports are that, at about 6 p.m., the police conducted a snap raid at a premises. During the search, one Beretta 9mm pistol with 10 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized. Investigations continue. Investigation on the winter death of prisoner at Halfway Tree Police Lockup. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has launched a probe into the circumstances surrounding the death of a prisoner at the Halfway Tree Police Lockup on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 59-year-old David Satchel, a laborer from Padmore District in St. Andrew. According to reports, Satchel was found unresponsive in his cell at approximately 8:20 a.m. on Monday. Following the discovery, police personnel transported him to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. At the time of his death, Satchel was in custody facing charges related to sexual touching. He had been remanded in custody after appearing in court on September 9. Man on trial for murder freed after witness denied giving incriminating statement to the police. Ian Somerville was before the court for the June 2020 murder of Jerome Harris on Regent Street in Kingston, was set free on Monday after his trial was halted. Somerville's attorneys, Shamar Hansen and Franklin Grinnon, were prepared to defend their client when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court, but the prosecution's witness said he was unable to recall the details of the incident. The witness also denied giving a statement to the police in relation to the murder, but the investigating officer insisted that the witness did provide a statement. The accused was subsequently freed after the prosecutor offered no further evidence against him. Somerville, otherwise called Bujo, of Wellington Street in Kingston, was charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm in October 2020. The Denham Town Police reported that Harris was standing outside a cook shop on June 29 when he was shot several times by gunmen. Somerville was picked up during an operation. Rushing Barnett's appeal for sentence reduction hits legal hurdle. The attempt by convicted murderer Rushing Barnett to appeal his life sentence for the brutal killings of his cousin, Kemisha Wright, and her 4 children in June 2022 is facing significant challenges. Supreme Court Justice Ian Pusey sentenced Barnett to 5 concurrent life sentences in October 2022, but he contends that the sentence is excessively harsh. Barnett, who was just 22 years old at the time of the heinous crimes committed at their Cocoa Peace, Chapeltown, Clarendon home, argued in his appeal that he deserved a more lenient sentence due to his early guilty plea. Under the terms of his sentence, he will effectively serve 61 years and 8 months before becoming eligible for parole, which will not be possible until he reaches the age of 85. On Monday, Attorney Kemar Robinson, who was assigned to represent Barnett in his appeal, informed the panel of appeal court judges, Justices Frank Williams, Jennifer Straw, and Evan Brown, that upon reviewing the court records, he found no legal grounds for Barnett to challenge the original sentencing decision made by Justice Pusey. In reviewing the transcript, I found no basis on which I can make submissions on the grounds filed by the appellant, Robinson told the court. At the end of it, I formed the view that the learned trial judge followed the proper sentencing exercise as prescribed by the various authorities and the sentencing guidelines, and for the most part, the procedure is unassailable, Robinson told the judges. In those circumstances, I'll not be in a position to challenge the sentencing to show that it is manifestly excessive, Robinson told the court, while making it clear that the convicted man had filed the notice of appeal on his own without the benefit of any legal advice. Robinson said he has already informed Barnett of his finding. The appeal court panel will later this week, in the interest of transparency, hear submissions from the Crown on the position arrived at by Robinson. On Monday, Justice Williams, who heads the panel, said after the submissions are heard, the panel will determine what is the best way to deal with this matter. The victims, Wright and her children, Kemanda Smith, 15, Shirley Smith, 12, Rafaela Smith, 5, and a 23-month-old Kishon Henry Jr. were discovered inside their house with chop wounds and their throats slashed. Government lawmakers vote against motion to refer Integrity Commission report to FID. Government lawmakers on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee on Tuesday morning voted against the motion moved by opposition legislator Julian Robinson during a meeting of the committee. The motion calls for the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee to support a referral of an investigation report dealing with the statutory declarations of Prime Minister Andrew Holness to the Financial Investigation Division, FID, for review. Robinson's motion was supported by his opposition colleague, Philip Paulwell. Director of Investigation at the Integrity Commission, Kevin Stevenson, said there was sufficient basis on which to make a referral to the Commissioner General of Tax Administration Jamaica and the FID for determination to be made as to the appropriateness of the filing of nil tax returns by Prime Minister Holness. The Director of Investigation also wants the FID to determine whether there is any financial impropriety on the part of the companies owned or part-owned by the Prime Minister. Member of the committee, Pernell Charles Jr., charged that the IC made prejudicial statements in its investigation report on the Prime Minister's statutory declarations, which was tabled in Parliament last week.
I wonder, Chairman, if we ought not to be calling the IC before us to discuss the matter, to really investigate and determine, is this a matter of malicious prosecution, where clearly you see the inclusion of things intended to harm the declarant rather than to seek justice. These are matters that we have to explore, because it is highly inappropriate, in my view, for an investigation to be completed and for there to now be an effort to redetermine the matter. Section 7 of the Integrity Commission Act speaks directly to cooperation between other bodies and agreement and arrangements, and it allows the Commission in the performance of its functions to cooperate with any person or body that it may deem appropriate, including those bodies that it is now seeking to redetermine this matter, that it itself has concluded. It's either that the IC is turning against itself, or that you have a situation here that is exposing itself as being a matter of corruption. And I must tell you, I am very concerned, because as a nation, if we intend to address corruption, Mr. Chairman, we must ensure that those with the primary responsibility are not including any contaminated or corrupt operation in that effort. And I speak very seriously on it, boldly. This is laden with procedural irregularities. And I hear Member Paulwell saying that it has never been done. That is a weak argument in relation to addressing this matter that relates to our Prime Minister, who has been subjected to the most extensive and the most expensive investigation.
Keith Clark shot at least 10 times in the back, says expert witness. 20 of the 25 gunshot wounds received by businessman Keith Clark during the May 2010 Security Forces operation at his home in St. Andrew were fatal. Of the 13 injuries detailed by an expert witness so far, 10 of them were from gunshots to the back, 1 shot to the left thigh, 1 to the right leg, and another to the left side of the chest. Dr. Dinesh Rahu, former chief forensic pathologist in the legal medicine unit at the Ministry of National Security, made the disclosure yesterday during his testimony via video link from overseas. The 64-year-old accountant was shot multiple times inside his master bedroom at his Kirkland Close home on May 27 during a police military operation to apprehend then fugitive drug lord Christopher Dudus Coke. Defendants Lance Corporals Greg Tingling and Odell Buckley and Private Arnold Henry are being tried for murder before Justice Dale Palmer. Dr. Rahu, who told the ongoing jury trial that he was conducted over 6,000 postmortems, outlines some of the injuries that he observed on Clark's body during the postmortem exercise at a funeral home in St. Catherine. Meanwhile, Dr. Rahu's testimony was cut short by connectivity issues and was set to resume his testimony today. Clark's widow and daughter previously testified that they witnessed Clark being shot while climbing down from the closet with his back turned to the soldiers. Clark's daughter, Brittany, had insisted that he was shot at the window while coming down. Both relatives had also insisted that they were home alone with Clark when they heard sounds and thought criminals were breaking in on them. However, a former government forensic analyst testified that Keith Clark was shot while inside the closet in the master bedroom, contradicting the testimony from his widow and daughter that it occurred while he was climbing down from atop the closet. The expert witness also ruled out the idea that Clark was shot at the window. She testified that she did not see any blood splatter on the window or the walls around the window. She also could not recall seeing a curtain and whether it had blood marks, but was certain there was no blood stains or splatter on the window. The court was told that it was likely that Clark was shot while positioned at the left side of the closet based on the blood splatter captured in a photograph she was shown. Meanwhile, the last witness, Brigadier Mahatma Williams, who commanded the unit linked to the death of the businessman, previously testified that based on an aerial video that captured the shooting on the grounds of the premises, he believed that the soldiers acted in good faith. The aerial video, which was disclosed last month by the prosecution, was recorded by the JDF from a helicopter. Williams testified that after the incident, he and others reviewed the video, which showed that the soldiers came under attack from insurgents inside the Clark's premises and that the soldiers had followed the requisite drills. Williams also told the court that the JDF had relied on intelligence, which led them to the premises, and that his team came under attack while heading to Kirkland Close. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.